Welcome back, everybody. We are here at ESL's King of the Hill, and I have a very special guest with me competing in the first of 10 for the King of the Hill. We have none other than Low Tier. God. What's going on, man? How you doing?
How you doing? I'm doing excellent.
I'm doing all right. You know, I'm kind of excited to see how you're going to do against Footwork. I was kind of reaching over to kind of, feel for it. But you're going to be playing in a first of 10. This is the first time we have you on board here at ESL. We have seen you a couple times at Wednesday Night Fights. You know, not a lot of action for you for Street Fighter V, but what have you been doing so far to kind of prep for this event today?
Well, basically, I've been taking my time to figure out how to actually play the game. I think the entire season 1, I didn't know how to play the game. I was playing it, but I didn't actually know how to play the game. So I've just been doing a lot of homework, reevaluating myself as a player, and just finally being able to be comfortable to come out and play season 2. So basically it.
You know, I kind of feel the same sentiment. I didn't understand how to play season 1 at all. You know,
Okay.
I'm right there with you. Now, we're going to get into specifics here. You've practiced the game. You've studied the game. You're becoming a student of the game. You're pretty much reviving yourself into the Street Fighter series with Tyrion.
Okay.
A pretty strong character. I wouldn't say upper echelon, but how have you been preparing for the likes of No Surrender's Footwork? Because I know he's been dabbling with Ken for the most part. He does have a few pocket characters here and there. What have you done to kind of get yourself ready in terms of those matchups?
I've been playing a lot of Bisons online. So I have a group on Facebook. So there's a particular Bison player that plays. So I've just been playing him in sets, trying to get a familiarity of the character and just see how he plays at a high level and see if I could actually use his style and kind of mock it on his style. So
yeah.
That's basically it, just prepping for the matchup.
Yeah, I'm kind of banking on seeing him, kind of playing Bison as well. I studied a lot of his Ken. He had a very pretty strong Ken for his local scene, but his Bison has been making some pretty strong waves. And does that ever kind of affect you, like Bison as a character where it's like, man, he's got a 3-frame normal again.
Yes.
His crouch jab anti-air is a problem.
Yes.
You know, he's so damaging with meter. Does that ever bother you coming into the matchup, like as a Urian player?
It does. Season 1, I had absolutely no problems beating Bison.
And you were using Nash in Season 1.
I was.
That's right.
I was. Until Urian dropped. I kind of felt like I was using Nash just to play a character, but Urian, I feel like it's a character that I gel with completely. So, yeah, I think it's a little bit better fit for me.
Okay, that's fair. Now, we haven't really seen you out in the tournament circuit too much, right? We've seen you stream every now and then, and as well as be somewhat active in the social media community, and just trying to come out to Wednesday Night Fights. I know last time you came out, unfortunately, you had to play Bushin style like what, twice?
Twice.
And he's been on here a couple times, so that's really unfortunate. But either way, it's been pretty good to see you coming out more often and playing. And you're really just trying to get your feet going once again with a character like Urian, or just Street Fighter V in general, right? Just giving yourself like a revival or a rebirth, if you will.
True.
And, with that being said, what other tournaments do you even plan on going to for the most part? Like, what's your future plans for Street Fighter V?
This year, I'm hoping to attend CEO. Not hoping, I should be attending CEO, EVO for sure.
That's what's up.
So I'm definitely looking forward to going to Miami, seeing the weather, actually competing and being confident while doing so. So hopefully my tour won't end.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah, you really need to get yourself out there, man. People need to know about Low Tier. God.
I agree.
It needs to happen. It needs to happen.
I
Look,
agree.
but again, you've been hitting quite a slump with Urian with the tournament scene. Again, being able to play at Wednesday Night Fights ever so often, right? Couple of wins, couple losses here and there. But in general, how do you feel about the upcoming patches coming out or just, nerfs in general to Urian?
The upcoming patches, I feel like they'll affect Urian players who weren't on, on the same road as him as Season 1. So Season 2, he's a different character, but if you're a Season 1 Urian player, I don't think the nerfs are actually going to bother you. It's not really significant nerfs. It's actually just simple, small, slight nerfs that really won't actually nerf the character.
Right.
Yeah. I don't think it's going to be that big of a deal.
I know a bunch of people ask this. I have to ask this for Urian players too. Where do you think he falls in the top in the tier placement? I have to ask. I have to.
I'm going to say this, and I'm going to say it
You gotta look right. You gotta look right into the camera when you do it, man. You gotta just let us know.
I do not think Urian is a top tier character. I do not think Urian is a top tier character at all. I think that he's a solid mid tier character. As a top tier character, absolutely not. How many How many Urians do you see placing consistently? You don't really see it. We
Can't even
fail.
count them on my hands.
We fail because he's a
Can't.
character that you have to work to win. Aegis setups, not just anyone can do it.
And those are hard. Those are high execution Aegis
Exactly.
combo setups and stuff.
There's situational key setups that you must go in training for. This isn't something that anybody can just do. So, yeah, Urian's a solid season 2, mid-tier character, not top tier.
So by default, that kind of makes you a mid-tier god, if you will. You kind of have to rebrand now. You just lost all of your social media because you had to rebrand to mid-tier god.
Street Fighter V, I feel like I had to remap my entire mind frame of Street Fighter in general. Street Fighter IV was a different game. I come from the era of Third Strike. That's when I first started taking Street Fighter seriously.
That's what's
so
up.
I'm playing Third Strike. I'm playing Street Fighter IV, but Street Fighter V, I'm like, what's going on? Wake up jabs, wake up tatsus, wake up throws. I don't understand what's going on.
And how do you feel about all that? Because that blows my mind. I'm going to be honest with you. I get so frustrated online. Let me tell you, when I get hit with wake up jab like 4 or 5 at a time, I'm like, come on, man. I thought you were smarter than this. How do you feel about that?
Let me tell you how it feels. It feels like Capcom is alienating veteran players. Veteran players are getting bodied consistently by the likes of people that are 18 that's just coming into the community. How would you feel watching your heroes or the people that actually got you into the FGC getting bodied by an 18-year-old guy confidently at that?
Seeing Haitani falter this past DreamHack, it was tough. Gotta admit. I'm a Punk fan, but at the same time, it's like Haitani's a god,
Exactly, and he's running through them because Street Fighter V technically is a simpler game.
Simpler game, attracting way more people. It's
True.
Still, there's always a plus side. There's a silver lining to every dark cloud.
That's true. But it's a game we must overcome and play. If we want to continue to play Street Fighter, we have to do our research and find out what we're doing wrong as players.
And that's exactly what I wanted to hear. And we're back over here at the desk. Again, low tier god, you had a pretty good run. I got to admit, back-to-back weeks, we had the West Coast representatives only taking 1 game apiece, and you came out the woodwork with 5. A solid 5. Not bad. Going into what Footwork was saying earlier, kind of getting the tendencies of characters and players and whatnot. I actually want to know your insight on how you felt about the entire set in general. Like, what was going on through your mind? I know you had a few adaptations here and there. We'll get to that in a bit. But again, just your overall thought process.
First off, my overall thought process was this is the most nasty rushdown Bison I've ever played. Considering that I play Bisons online all the time, I've never played a Bison that rushdown heavy and that confident to just barge in on my Urian like that. I feel like there's a couple of holes in my game that I need to fill, but that's why I was able to come here to do that, to kill those tournament nerves, kill those offline nerves. And Footwork actually kind of helped me kind of eradicate a little bit of those nerves. I just wish that I would have maximized on my damage a little bit more and, just played a little bit more solid. 5 games is good, but maybe I could have got a little bit more had I known a couple of key things about the matchup in general.
Yeah. You had 15 games overall to work with. Again, still an impressive run. One thing that stood out to me the most about your play was your active defense. We kind of emphasized that back and forth, Steve and I. We were talking about your active defense. You like to jump back, catch some normals, and you know what? Your knowledge of the matchup against Bison, although it wasn't fine-tuned, you still had your own kind of gameplay in there. You knew how to anti-air with the roundhouse. You knew when to jump back against Bison. Kind of reminiscent of Street Fighter 4. Now, you understand how Bison kind of wants to work,
yes.
right? So, with that being said, what do you think, other than just trying to not drop the combos, what are you going to take into consideration the next time around in the training room, or even for the next tournament?
Completely punish dashes. I seen the purple blur over and over again. And here's the thing. Let me tell you, players, when you're playing offline, it's a totally different experience. You could see the dashes coming online. I could see them online. Offline, I'm like, oh my gosh, it's
different.
It's purple blur. I don't know what button to press. So I would say punish dashes a lot more and just play with a little bit of overall more confidence in the matchup. That's basically it.
That's respectable. I understand, again, having a certain amount of games offline, online can really kind of make it harder for certain players, having to transition between online and the offline community because, not every scene gets to have the blessings of being able to play to somebody next door and whatnot. But, you know, for the most part, it's still, you had a pretty impressive run. I can't emphasize that enough. Again, being able to take more than one game this week. Again, it's been back-to-back. You've been technically, these past couple of weeks, one of the better representatives for King of the Hill for the West Coast. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're in there. And if you haven't noticed, he hasn't been able to go to many tournaments. So, you know, this is definitely a revival of your play style. It's definitely going to be exciting to watch you in general. Now, again, watching these matches, I still kind of feel Urian is a mid-tier character. Your thoughts?
I totally agree. I mean, we discussed this before. Urian it's a situational character. I don't always get a chance to use my Aegis, but when I do, I have to make sure I have the key point mix-ups ready to go in every situational thing, which is why I watch a lot of Nemo. That's a Urian player I study, so I actually stole a lot of stuff from him, but I didn't get a chance to display my Aegis tech the way I wanted to, but hopefully I'll be able to do that in the future for you guys.
Well, you know, it's been a great run for you. I mean, hopefully we get to see you back either on King of the Hill, maybe another weekly tournament in general, just to have you on. But for the most part, where can they find you on social media?
You can find me on Twitter at Cocky Sparrow. That's COCKY_Sparrow. My YouTube is YouTube/Sparrow25. And my Facebook is just Alon Sparrow. I'm very active on Facebook, very active on Twitter. And guys, up the ratio likes on my videos. Stop going to my videos and hitting dislikes.
Come on, you can't even steal content from this guy. Come on, give him a break. And you know what? He's smart enough to keep it to his name. It's not even a low-tier god channel. You know what I'm saying? Because he's already playing Urian, mid-tier. You know, he can't change that anymore. He's keeping it safe. He's keeping it to Sparrow. And you know what? That's fine. I understand. But either way, it was great having you on the show. It was insightful to see you coming back into the tournament scene, bringing that Urian play, and hopefully we get to see you a lot stronger.
And thank you guys for